Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're looking at the Proverbs 27 today. By the way, this happens to be Mother's Day. So if you are a mom listening, happy Mom's Day, and make sure if you're listening today, you're wishing your mom a happy Mother's Day or giving her a call. Or anyway, just let them know. But again, moms, important, parents, what we do, how we treat them, what they do for us. And I know we don't always have the best. It's not always good. And that's unfortunate. But love them no matter what. And be there for them the best you can be. Yeah. Again, we're not always the best at it. I know I'm not. But we do the best we can. Right? While they're here. While we can. Till they're gone. Right? Proverbs 27. It says, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Let another praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and sand is weighty, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both. Wrath is cruel, anger is overwhelming, but who can stand before jealousy? Before I open a rebuke than hidden love. Better to open a rebuke than hidden love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Profuse are the kisses of an enemy. He who is sated loathes honey, but the one who is hungry, everything bitter is sweet. Like a bird that strays from its nest is a man who strays from his home. Oil and perfume make the heart glad, but the soul is torn by trouble. Your friend and your father's friend do not forsake, and do not go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor who is near than a brother who is far away. Be wise, my son, and make my heart glad, that I may answer him who reproaches me. A prudent man sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. Take a man's garment when he has given surety for a stranger, and hold him in pledge when he gives surety for foreigners. He who blesses his neighbor with a loud voice rises early in the morning and will be counted as cursing. A continual dripping on a rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. To restrain her is to restrain the wind, or to grasp oil in one's right hand. Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. He who tends a fig tree will eat its fruit, and he who guards his master will be honored. As in water, face answers to face, so the mind of man reflects the man. Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, and never satisfied are eyes of man. The crucible is for silver, and the furnace is for gold, and a man is judged by his praise. Crush a fool in a mortar with a pestle along with crushed grain. Yet his folly will not depart from him. Know well the condition of your flocks, and give attention to your herds. For riches do not last forever, and does a crown endure to all generations? When the grass is gone, and the new growth appears, and the herbage of the mountains is gathered, the lambs will provide your clothing, and the goats the price of a field. There will be enough goat's milk for your food, for the food of your household, and maintenance of your maidens. Proverbs 27. That's what we were looking at today. Reading the Proverbs, it's like reading a fortune cookie. Every line, as in water, face answers to face. So the man's mind reflects the man. Reflection. As we're trying to be better and do things better, reflection comes in a lot. Taking that rest, relaxation. Mother's Day, that's today. Reflecting, what the memories. We have many of them, and we make memories every day, when good or bad. I know mine are completely all over the place. Something else that we deal with, and all this is hoping to help us be better, is the cycles of life that we deal with, that we're going through, that we go through at work. You lose your job, you lose a friend, and it doesn't always have to be death. I was listening to a podcast that comes out about once a month, roughly every other month, but it plays classic Jesus music. I grew up on Petra and Michael W. Smith and Randy Stonehill, Randy Matthews, things like that. Those that know what the contemporary Christian music of the 80s are. Milo Lefevre and Broken Heart, Resurrection Band before they were that. But it's called Full Circle Jesus music. And yesterday, when I was listening to this, they were talking about loss. And then on Friday, we had our monthly men's lunch at the station. And they were talking about Joseph and, of course, then restraint. How do we restrain ourselves? Our reactions to things. And that's hard. I know I've said it once before, but, we all were dealing with 2020. And 22 last year was more of my 2020, with my mom going in the hospital a couple times, and now my dad in the hospital, in rehab too. And a lot of things have happened to me over the last couple years, both good and bad. How do I react to it? I'm not always the best at those reactions. How do I react to somebody that drives me crazy? I do not react to that well. How do I react to some sort of loss? Don't react to that well either. It's almost like I have a processing problem. Do you have a processing problem? And maybe at work you do great, but on the personal level, you're just a mess, and that can be me. In fact, I've heard this twice, because even when they were talking about restraint on Friday, and then yesterday about the whole loss, and they were talking about the levels, the stages that we have to go through. That's the 5 stages of grief. And we have grief that we have to go through. It could be grief when you lose a job. It could be grief when you lose a friend. It could be grief from a divorce. It could be grief when someone passes, your mom, dad, brother, sister, family member, grandparent. And for those 5, just as a quick reminder, it's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I've not had the denial too much, honestly. Somehow I kind of skip over that one. But the anger, that one pops in a lot, and I deal with that. Bargaining, I have bargained hard over the years. when things happen. Depression? Yeah. In fact, that one holds pretty tight and pretty hard. And, yeah. Acceptance. That's the final part, accepting it. I was thinking of all these different things of how you're dealing with your restraint, how you deal with life every day, how you're going through that daily grind. I think I figured for me, acceptance is probably the hardest one. And I would go to say that it could be the hardest for most, actually accepting what happened. Accepting what you're going through. Accepting the life change. I've not slept very well the past couple nights. It's been rough. Beyond that, usually at night as I'm getting ready to go to bed, I find myself crying. It's been like that for a while. And again, that loss, it could be good or bad, because sometimes you find yourself grieving even if you're losing something that you probably need to lose. Maybe there's a person that needs to walk away because it's not good for you. And maybe you're not good for them. And I'm not talking about an abusive thing or anything like that by any means. Just sometimes personalities just don't mesh. They just don't work. Like for me, I'm an introvert. So for me being an introvert, many personalities do not work with me because I get my energy by being alone. Where I know many people that they get their energy by being around people. That's what really helps them. And that drains me. If I'm around too many people in a day, I will be exhausted by the time night comes. Maybe even afternoon. Because it just sucks it right out of me. Our goal, though, is to be the best that we can be, however that is. Going through, sometimes we're going through those rough times and then you have to put the face on and nobody knows that, right? Or sometimes we fail and we're going through those rough times and we kind of lash out to others because we're going through that rough time, because we're not dealing with it very well. Yeah, I probably fall on both sides of that. But just remember that we just keep pushing forward to do the best that we can. I have my dark days. I'd love to say that they are gone, but no, they come back. And there are certain triggers in my life that'll happen and they come back. And I'll be telling you right now, dark day right now. Dark week right now. 22 was a dark year. Then you try and find things to distract you. And you can't always find them. I know for me it's hard to find distraction. Even with people that I talk to, it's hard to find distraction with them because they're busy. They have so much going on. I'm not distracting myself with work like I used to, because that was a huge distraction for me for many years, working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs at a time. So I was always distracted. That's what I did. Busy. Kept myself busy. Was that good? No. Was it bad? I don't know. It was that bad either. I mean, here again, I had bills to pay and I had to take care of things. I had to do the best that I could, and that's what I did. Just remember to make your way through, to really strive to be the best that you can. And sometimes being the best that you can is just doing the best that you can. And for some people, maybe the best that you can is not the best for them. I know I do the best that I can. And the best that I can for some is a failure. It fails. It's an F. Not even getting an A for effort. Even though effort's with an E. I need to strive for the A for acceptance, though. To help process to get through things. Man, that's where we see a lot of bitterness with people that we work with. And they don't always end up being the best workers because of it. Or they end up being toxic in the workplace and really bring down production, bring down the whole vibe at work because they're bitter. And a lot of that comes from hurt. And a lot of that comes from that acceptance. You're going through those 5 stages of grief. All I can ever say, it's the same thing that I share every time we get together. I talk about this. It's being the best that you can be and doing the best you can. Because it's being better today than yesterday. Today, am I better than yesterday right now? No. Yesterday, was I better than the day before? No. But I need to try to be better today than yesterday. To then try and be better tomorrow than I am today. Some days it works. Some days not so much. In fact, this week's going to be really busy for me. I've got meetings and just lots of stuff going on. But always try and remember that if you have a friend, reach out to them. If you need to. And if you need to talk. Family member that you trust, reach out to them. Talk. Trust is important. Trust is also lost. And some of us sabotage things. I'm not good at it. I have a friend that's terrible at sabotaging themselves. Proverbs 27. We're looking at today. The book of fortune cookies. Oh. So much wisdom in a couple lines. To try and really build us up. To help us be the best that we can be. As we're in that daily race. You know, we talk about how we're in that race. And it's not in the race to win. It's in the race to finish. Because it's my race. It's my individual race. I'm not racing against others. You know, this is me. I have to live for me. Doing the best that I can. Because by doing that, I'm helping others be the best that they can. Getting out there to finish that race. To really be the best that I can. Proverbs 27. Read that today. How does it help you? How does it help you help others? How does it help you to get through those stages you need to make your way through, your cycles of life to make your way through on that? How does it help you? How does it comfort you? How does it help you rest, which is important? Take that time. Proverbs 27. Read that. Hopefully it all does well for you. If this helped you, well, be sure to share it with others. And be sure to check out Full Circle Jesus music that I was telling you about too. Very good show. Find a lot of music that you probably even forgot about if you were into that genre. But if you enjoyed this, share it on social media. You can find me on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, online at mybuddyjimmy.com. Also, you can give a rating on the platform that you are listening, and we'll always appreciate that as well. And sometimes, you find out exactly where things stand when things happen. And kind of just happened to me yesterday, too, of really knowing where things are because of something that was happened. And it's rough. Mother's Day, maybe make it a week. Mother's Day week, maybe make it a month, and appreciate your mom. Right? Thank you for listening to the Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
If you're looking for help with software, app, web development, be sure to check out my friends at ingenuitycompany.com. They believe in their clients. Software development, app development, web development, visioning, design thinking, diagramming, organizational development, strategy. They can help you at the Ingenuity Company. Find out more at ingenuitycompany.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines, across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.